Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 5 Tips and Tricks for Careers in Athletics. I am your host, Dr. Maury Mosovitz, with my all-time most favorite, most wonderful, most stupendous co-host, Jen Albanese. Hi, Jen.
Hey, Maury. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. How are we doing?
Well, we got one of your own. Joe is on tonight.
Joe Carello. He's great. So fantastic.
Former basketball managers, and another one that has landed in LA with the Clippers, which is awesome. The Clippers know good talent because they picked up some of our best, which we're very happy.
A lot of our former peeps, a lot of Syracuse people out in LA.
And top quality people that they're getting at the Clippers. So we applaud them for knowing talent.
Yes.
So, I know Joe, I know is going to be involved with the Olympics or the Clippers because they're hosting an Intuit Dome for basketball, but we're deep in Winter Olympics right now.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's literally the only thing on my TV all day, every day, like in the office, at home. It's just everything we're watching.
I put it on at home, but I can't do it in the office. I don't know how you guys concentrate with that on. It gets me too.
That's when it's live because
I know.
The prime time, it's 3 a.m. in Milan, but at 2 p.m, it's live. So it's cool to watch some of it live, but it could be distracting, but usually I don't have the sound on. So that helps.
Oh, there you go. So I did want to talk to you about some things I've been watching, and there's something that's just really brought to my attention is the biathlon events. So
so good.
I thought there was just the one with the shooting. I'm sure I'm getting this wrong, but I've now found out that there's other multi-developmental events, kind of like track and field has, you do 2 things. So I was watching tonight that they have downhill, aerial jumping. I don't know what the hell they call it. It's where you
should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Where you jump and how far you can make it down the hill, and whoever has the best score based off of distance and form gets deductions for when they do the Nordic cross country skiing, and they don't do the shooting, but they don't do the shooting in that one.
Oh, see, the shooting one is crazy to me because you think about when you cross country ski, how much effort that puts in, that's so much cardio. Okay. But then you have to stop. And obviously everything is timed. And then you have to shoot 5 targets, and you have to calm your body to not have your hand. It's wild. It's insane.
I also don't understand how they come up with this as a sport, because it's to me, it's okay, you're going to go and climb a wall, and then at the top, you're going to see how many hot dogs you can eat the fastest. It has nothing, one has nothing to do with the other. Who decided that you're going to cross country ski and then shoot a gun, or that you're going to go down this giant hill, fly in the air like a flying squirrel, and then go do Nordic skiing? It doesn't make sense to me. And also that's both of those are very specialized things, dangerous and also specialized. Dangerous. So you could if you just really concentrate on those things, and I know Herm has said all this stuff is really hard, and I'm sure it is, but if you could just get decent at one of them, you could have a chance to win a medal. It really is very interesting.
It's crazy. Some of the things that are in the Winter Olympics, I saw something on social media where it was the Summer Olympics are so cool, and you could see yourself playing basketball or swimming, but the Winter Olympics, people take their lives in their hands, and if they're on the luge or the bobsled, you
that is
the
crazy.
wrong way, you could die, literally die. So it's
or the guy that's jumping off that cliff like a squirrel. It is pretty. But I also thought there is the whole other side of it, because I was thinking curling today, they were talking how the guy was a cellist, and I was that's not often that you see a guy that's a professional cellist also be able to be an athlete in the Olympics. So it has a dynamics of the Winter Olympics that I just don't think exists in the Summer Olympics.
I know. It's crazy. It could just be there's 40-year-olds participating in these Olympics, which is so cool. And it gives us hope, Maury.
I was just going to say, we could be a part Olympics. Of it. So it's a bucket list thing. I just need to get really good at some obscure sport that doesn't happen in the United States.
I can sweep the best of them, okay? And I bet you Joe would be really good at the sweeping too.
I bet Joe would. Oh, we're going to have the Lippmann thing. Yeah, we'll have to get to that during the podcast.
So good. We'll be perfect.
Everyone hold on your hats, because Joe has a lot of good stories, and I'm sure we'll get to the Lippmann. So when we come back, we'll have Joe after these messages.
Are you a loyal 5 Tips and Tricks podcast listener? If not, now is the time to start. Get all your info and fun content on the podcast by following us on all our social channels at @AthCareerPod. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast is a part of Athletic Career Consulting. Make sure to reach out to us. The one-stop shop for everything is our website, www.athcareer.com. Remember, follow and like us on @AthCareerPod, rate and review us, and get all your info at www.athcareer.com. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Maury, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Today's guest is someone whose journey through the sports industry reads like a masterclass in turning opportunity into momentum. A proud product of Syracuse, he graduated in 2020 with a degree in sports management and wasted no time in diving headfirst into the world he knew he wanted to be part of. From managing one of college basketball's most storied programs to gaining NBA-level experience with the LA Clippers. After making the move to Los Angeles in 2021, he sharpened his commercial skills set in sales before turning to sports full-time, rejoining the very Clipper partnership team he once interned. Today, he plays a key role in partnership marketing, managing day-to-day execution for several major corporate partners, crafting integrated strategies, and ensuring brand get real values for their associations with the Clippers. And if that wasn't enough, he has a front line for the franchise's biggest milestone, the opening of Intuit Dome in the 2024 season, helping partner activate in a brand new era and being fan-facing experiences to life. Strategic, detail-oriented, and deeply committed to evaluating partnerships, he became a trusted connector between the brands and one of the NBA's most dynamic organizations. Please welcome Joe Carello. Welcome, Joe.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Hi,
what an intro.
Hello. Yeah, there you go. It's all you.
Forgot to mention Jen's intern. Hello.
I was trying to skip it. It's always like, it becomes a thing. It's always like, oh, my children, I love them so much.
See, exactly.
So, Joe, besides being one of Jen's interns, thank you for coming back.
Of course. No, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Well, we're so excited to see you and hear about what you're doing in LA, and what a cool experience to be with the Clippers and be involved with the NBA, and especially with the activation side. So we'd love to hear some tips and tricks that you can share with everybody.
Of course. No, thank you so much. Great intro. Really happy to be here, like I said. But yeah, no, it's been such a great run with the Clippers. I'm thankful to have worked for them for the past 4 years or so full time. This past weekend was very busy. We hosted NBA All-Star Weekend. So really another great milestone for the building, a number of awards among the sports business community, but hosting All-Star Weekend was really great. And there were a lot of amazing people that were involved in bringing that together.
And you made time for us after that. I'm very impressed.
No, yeah, of course. Anything for Jen, anytime.
See, look at that, Maury. See?
Yeah. Bring it on. Come on, Joe.
No, and Maury, too. I mean, my time at Syracuse was so amazing. Everybody I worked with in the athletic department, as well as, on Jen's side of things, and then also on the basketball side, I felt like I had a great, relationship with everybody who was involved. So really happy to be here.
We appreciated you, Joe. You were always enjoyable to be around, and it's always nice when we have people that work across the department and know so many different areas, and your experience with basketball, I think, only helps you be more successful when you were doing other things. So yeah. Awesome.
No, for sure. And then I guess just to dive into the first tip, you've probably heard this one many times before on the podcast, but I think number one has to be just be as proactive as possible when you're an intern or early in your career. Seems like a given, but something I always tell people if I have a chance to speak with them is there's inevitably going to be downtime, right? When you're an intern, or if it's just your first couple of years into your career. And what can you do to maybe take some work away from your manager or your boss's plate, or maybe it's just some of your peers who start to rely on you to work on different things. Whether that could be anything on a game day, right? We get pretty busy on game days. So what can we do to make sure that, hey, if you have a number of partnership activations happening today, whether it's during the game, it could be pregame. Now we have this beautiful plaza at Intuit Dome where there's a number of partners who come outside and they activate before the games. So if you can be as proactive as possible, and maybe your work's done for the day, but anything you can do to take that work off of your manager's plate and just try to be ingrained as much as you can is definitely a big tip I give folks.
Joe, I know you were really ingrained in like to the point of you were doing basketball. Like, how did you get involved with being a manager? And then how did you decide, like, okay, not only are you going to be a basketball manager, but you're going to create time outside of that to do other things to like keep yourself active? And I think that's one of the things that especially young people are like have a hard time doing is like, okay, I want to try and get involved with a lot of things. How do I do that? How do I strategize to make that worthwhile?
Yeah, of course. And admittedly, I've seen so many folks who come through who do even more than I did, right? So admittedly, there's always more I could have done, maybe more groups I could have been involved with. But I went with a quality over quantity approach. I really just tried to hone in my skills at the Syracuse manager position, was able to become a head manager senior year, and really get close, build relationships with those people there. And then as well as, working with Jen's team, that's when I started to see the transition into the business side of things. We weren't corporate partnerships specifically. I know that was the Learfield guys who I had a chance to talk to a little bit. Jen introduced me to them. But just seeing how partnerships interacted with our marketing department overall. I was the guy, the manager in the Lidman mop suit. I didn't know anything about partnerships at the time, but
the famous,
very famous. My friends would take pictures of me in the green suit down there. But at the end of the day, that's sort of my first step and my first transition into partnerships, and something that I maybe didn't even know at the time, but that was kind of my first experience activating. And if I was, there now, I would talk to the Learfield guys and say, hey, make sure you get good pictures of me for this recap. I know you guys are putting together some nice documents for sure.
Is it still on YouTube, Joe? Can you still find that Lippmann commercial on YouTube?
You know what's funny enough? I think it must be on there. And just as another side story too, when I was interviewing for the internship position with the Clippers, so to come to the Clippers the first time, I was like, there's got to be so many people interviewing here. I mean, how do you really stand out? I just grabbed the clip on YouTube and sent it to them when I was interviewing, and they were like, yeah, we'd love it. Want to talk to you again next week.
We're like, this guy can mop a floor, man. Yeah. This guy can mop a floor.
If you have not seen that commercial, go on YouTube and get Joe's clip. We'll have to post it or something, because it was like the first time they ever did it too. So it was like a complete surprise to the crowd. People went nuts. It was great.
Yeah, seeing myself on the big screen was definitely a wake up call. I know they did it years after, but we were the original Lippmann mop crew.
I was going to say, it was never as good as that first one. No. It never got the reaction like the first one did. But yeah, I love that, Joe, because I think I was going to say, like, you were always such a good team player, and I think you managed well being able to do both roles, being the manager of men's basketball and then also being an intern in the marketing department. And I think that just kind of helped prepare you probably for those next steps of being able to, time manage and see where, this is where you need to put your focus today or your effort today. And I think that's really good advice to even interns, starting to be able to try different things, because then you can see and learn. Like, you were full steam ahead as a head manager, but then you got to see a whole different side when you worked with us, and that kind of gave you some more perspective of different opportunities that would be out there. So getting all those different experiences, I think gives everybody a better perspective on like what makes sense for them in their career. So I thought that's a really good one.
Totally.
Awesome. Joe, you're killing it. Okay. Let's go on to number 2.
Okay, so number 2, something that I tell folks is try to visualize where you want to be and find a mentor that can help you get there. It might not be as easy as it sounds, right? Mentors sometimes come naturally. It's not something you need to force per se. But when I think about how I was able to progress within the Clippers organization or even back at Syracuse, I think finding a mentor is really just something that I can't speak highly enough on, because if you find somebody who's already in a position where you want to be, start to talk to them, figure out their habits, how they get there. And then maybe it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But over time, you can start to learn, okay, this is how they got there. And if I can do X, Y, and Z over the next, give yourself a goal. Maybe it's 6 months to a year. This can put me in a great position to continue to move forward. So that's definitely a good tip I try to give folks.
That's awesome. Who did you find, what type of position did you find when you're coming to Clippers that connected you as like a mentor that made you feel like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to go forward?
Yeah, definitely Jordan Rosh. She's our VP of commercial strategy here at the Clippers right now. She was my boss as an intern. And also Paige Kirkpatrick, who was our head of partnership marketing at the time. They took me in, and amongst other peers who I've had over the years, but those two really took me in, showed me the ropes of the Clippers partnerships team, kind of how it all functioned. And then from there, I was able to just learn and grow from them. And now they're both very successful, moving on in their careers as well. So those are two folks that definitely helped me along the way.
Awesome. Well, definitely. I feel like one of the things that people should realize too is like your mentors can grow and like you can have multiple mentors. Like I think about people that like early on in my career, I still reach out to and text every once in a while and say, hey, like, how would you do this? Or what's your thoughts? And I don't see them all the time. And there's maybe people that mentor me more regularly where I work, but I still have those relationships. So like 100%, it's such a strong strategy to develop those people around you. And like you said, it can come naturally. You can put effort into it to try and build relationships with people. And they're really a good way to develop your career.
For sure. And I think sometimes people think it has to be somebody who is a C-level or somebody who's higher up. And that is great because you do want to get there eventually. But even your peers, folks who have been there a little bit longer than you, someone who sits next to you. I remember the folks, as soon as I started, I was like, hey, I don't know a lot about our partnerships at this point, but whatever I can do to learn, whatever I can do to learn about what your accounts are up to, they can help me succeed into mine and when I get my own responsibilities. So definitely my peers, and you're part of a team at the end of the day, right? It goes back to being a manager. We all do it in sports, but it really was a team aspect here at the Clippers and still is to this day on our partnerships team.
That's awesome.
And then it's kind of like a pay it forward where you can do that for the next group of people that are coming because you've seen the positive, how those mentors have been positive in your life. You can kind of pass that on to the next group of people that are coming in and you understand what that means to them because it meant so much to you. So I love how you said it can also be peers because I think like you said, people think, oh, it's got to be this, the president of the organization or the AD or whatever, but it can be somebody right at the same level as you that can really help guide you and help you in, whatever you're dealing with. So that one's cool. I like that.
Awesome. Okay, we're rolling. Number 3, what do we got?
Number 3, we already touched on it perhaps a little bit, but be open to learning from other departments and figure out how that each department fits into the greater goals or strategy of the organization. This one was big. I think I maybe didn't do it as much early on because I was so ingrained into corporate partnerships. I wanted to learn as much as I could about how it functioned and how it worked. But then if you start to take a step back, you realize that the organization as a whole, the Clippers, we have so many different goals and strategies that we're working towards, right? These big events that are coming. We're hosting the Olympics in 2028. How does each department, when you go talk to PR, marketing, social, each department, community team, of course, they're very busy these days. So much going on in the Clippers community. So how do they fit into the mold of the organization? Because if you can learn that, you can start to really figure out, okay, now what I'm doing in the partnerships team isn't just affecting my group, but it affects the whole group as a whole.
Well, you just said it, Joe. Like we're all a team. Like there's everybody's for one goal. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to make the experience better for everybody. And, like whatever department, everything kind of fits into a puzzle. Like some things on like your side of whether you're doing a activation, you need the facilities team to do that activation.
For
then
sure.
You also need the creative and the social team to get content so that you can use that to sell more sponsorship. And so everybody's kind of intertwined. And if you understand what everybody does, that just helps the team function a little bit better. So it's funny. I said this on another podcast recently, like, even though we're working for a team on the court, we're also a team off the court, off the field. And we're all kind of, working as members of that team to be successful. So that analogy, I think, is really cool for on and off, on and off in and out of competition. So I think that one is important.
And the partnership group's a great place to like learn that experience. Like I think about partnership groups or people that have worked in ours, and like they are always really reaching out, trying to connect. Like Jen said, like you guys have so many different things you need to do. Activations. It can sometimes touch your community organizations and community partners through like connecting corporate partners to community activations and like the socials and all these different things that really like get involved in. And when it comes down to it, like you have to make the effort to make those things work. And that's in whatever unit you're in. Sometimes if you're in the facilities events, it's more people come to you than you go to them, though. Hopefully it's a little bit.
We always went to you, Maury. We always went to you.
you got to make that effort. And it means so much because, we've again said it before, like it's so much easier when people feel like, hey, you're taking an interest in them or you have an understanding or you're trying, or I will even say trying to understand what they do and how they do it, because that that empathy and that work makes it a lot easier for people to engage. And that's something you were always really good at. Like, you weren't assuming things before you talked to people, and you made sure that you made connections, even using your experience in basketball to like say, hey, I know this person because I've worked with them through basketball. I'm going to make my internship in marketing even better because of that. And like, that's a really good skill that people just need to hone into and be aware of, because it's going to suit you well. So awesome.
Yes, for sure.
There we go.
Okay.
All
number
right.
4, Jen, am I on track?
I think so. Yes, we're on number 4. I got to keep them on track there.
Yeah. Keep me going.
No, number 4, everything kind of fits into a theme here, it feels like, when I start to give my tips. But at the end of the day, building relationships and maintaining them is very important. We just touched on a little bit with the operations group. I've been lucky enough to work on a number of plaza activations at Intuit Dome, where before we didn't have this opportunity when we were a tenant in that old building that we won't talk about. But
the building that won't be named.
Exactly. But it's been so great. And you talked about the operations group. I mean, there's so much that has to go into it. We're talking load in, load out. What are the requirements? What do you guys need? Power. And also, like, what does it look like? Are we what are we handing out? What are the giveaways? Does it fit with our code of the building? Because, we always want to put our best foot forward and represent Intuit Dome and the Clippers in the best light. And the operations group at the Intuit Dome itself, I can't speak highly enough of them. They've been so great in helping me manage all of these relationships with the external partners, because they have a lot of questions. They want to make sure they get everything right. We get the timing right to get in and out in a safe manner, because the plaza is always open to the public. Folks can come early in the day. They can shoot hoops on the outdoor court out there, which is really like a basketball heaven. It's a dream come true. We got to get you guys out to a game here if you get a chance.
Oh my God.
This
is so cool. We'll just come and work the Olympics with you, Joe. We've already said that to like anybody. Like, we told Jack Wetzel that. We told Olivia Chang that. We're like, hey, you need help. We're all for it.
Jen and I really want to get out to you guys, because we have so many people that we want to see and like see what you all are doing. Like, we really need to get out there.
No, we'd love to show you around. But yeah, that's really the tip there. Build the relationships, try to maintain them, and try not to reach out only when you need something, maybe, but just whenever, if you see them passing, or if you want to just talk about life other than work, because we are there a lot of the time, especially on a game day. It could be 12-hour days or longer, but anything you can do to kind of build relationships with them as people always goes a long way. When the next time another partner activation comes around, or you need something else, then it's more of a natural relationship.
So, Joe, I have a question when you talk about that coordination, and this is like the back end on my side, because I know this happens a lot of times. How do you guide a partner towards like the things that need to happen for the facility staff or the event staff to help kind of make it go? Because sometimes people will be like, well, we want to land an airplane on,
Yes.
So like, how do you deal with that? And how do you know, like, okay, through my relationship, I know this is the kind of thing these guys need, because clearly like you're helping them out a lot by helping develop and guide your partners to those places.
Exactly. No, it's a great point. I try to, on the front end, manage expectations and, start to vet it myself before I bring it to the operations folks, because then they're going to be like, Joe, we can't do something like this, right?
Can't land an airplane here.
Can't land an airplane. But we are lucky enough where a lot is possible out there. There's just a number of things you have to be mindful of, ingress and egress for the plaza. You don't want to block any staircases, ADA ramps. You got to be careful. Don't block any of that. But we are lucky that there's a lot we can do on the plaza, and there's a lot that partners are able to bring to life. But I'm able to just sort of steer them in the right direction, make sure we're connecting with the right folks ahead of time if it's something I'm unsure of. And then from there, luckily, there's enough best practices at this point now, being over a year and a half into the building, where I can point to, okay, this is what's been successful for folks in the past. This is what I would recommend given your goals. And then how can we work to get there and maybe land in the middle from where we started to where we are now.
That's awesome.
I love how you said set the expectations at the beginning. And I think that comes from building the relationship, like with the client as well. Not only with the facilities team at the Intuit Dome, but also the client. And then the client trusts you to know that you're telling them the truth and working to do, what's best for both the organization and the client. And that's all about building the relationships. And, it's great, because I feel like a lot of guests say, hey, build those relationships. But when you actually give examples of how you do that, like like you said, setting those expectations, asking the questions early. Like those are like true life, real examples of how you build those relationships and make them successful. So I think that's really great. And it's, yeah, people say that all the time, but I think those examples really like bring it home. So people who are listening understand, like, it's not about like, hey, send me a LinkedIn message and ask me how I'm doing. Well, that's all well and great.
Or just promising like, anything will be possible and not being able to deliver on it.
Exactly. So it's building a true relationship. So I think that those examples are really, really key for people to understand how you build those relationships. Yeah. So I like that a lot.
Joe, killing it. Okay, Jen, bring it on home.
Right. Last one, Joe. So what do you know now that you wish you knew then? So what do you know now at this point in your career that you wish you knew when you first started?
Oh man, what a great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think what I would go with here, and definitely a number of topics I could bring up, I'm sure, but what I would go with is early in your career or as an intern, it's completely okay not to have all the answers. But what is important is that you show a commitment to try to get there. Because I think early on I was maybe nervous or embarrassed if something came up in a meeting or we're talking to a client and I might not know the answer at the time. I would shell up a little bit and get a little bit nervous. But at the end of the day, if I could say, hey, I'm actually not too sure about that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to X, Y, and Z, and we're going to find a solution here. Show a commitment that you're going to get there. And that's all they really want at the end of the day. It turns out not everybody has all the answers is what you'll start to learn.
No one has all the answers. No one.
But that's something that's been really, really helpful for me and something I wish I knew a little bit earlier on.
I love the fact that you didn't pretend to know the answer and make something up and then totally get yourself in trouble, because that is the worst thing someone can do.
Joe, how many times did I say that to the Q's crew, to the interns? Don't make up an answer. If you don't know the answer, be honest and just say that, hey, I don't know, but I'm going to try to find out. Yeah. And like, I think people will take that better than you making up an answer, and then they go and try to do something and then it's like, oh no, that wasn't the answer. Right. And then that's 10 times worse. So like, ask the questions and don't be afraid to do that. And you're right. I think interns get nervous. They don't want to like look like they didn't pay attention or they didn't ask before, or
they feel like they need to know everything.
It's something you think you should know maybe, and then it's just all of a sudden you're just saying things that aren't correct. So you got to make sure that if you show a commitment, I think that's really all folks, whether it's internal or external, are looking for at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're go ahead, Maury. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I've said to my interns many times, like, well, I just feel I'm sorry. They'll apologize because they're like, I don't know. They go, well, no, don't apologize. Like, that's why you're here, is to learn. Like, that's what we're expecting from you. And I appreciate they're coming to ask and that you're making the effort to try and figure it out. Like, and it's such a good thing that people, especially young people, forget. Like, it's okay to not know something, and it's the right thing is to find the person that can help you.
Yeah, I mean, I still ask questions. Like, I'm still asking questions. Like, I don't have all the answers, and like, that's okay. Like, nobody is expected to have all the answers. But if you try and make the effort to try to get the answers, and I was going to say, I think the fans appreciate it more too. Like, in a customer service facing role, like if a fan asks you a question and you don't know, like, okay, let me see if I can get that answer for you. And they're going to be like, okay, that's better than just saying, no, I don't know, and walking away. That's not very good customer service.
I'm sure the corporate partners feel the same way too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, but it's funny you mentioned that. I remember early on at Intuit Dome, first couple of weeks, it was still tough to direct people around. I wasn't completely sure where everything was. Yeah. So almost every fan that walks in is asking a question because nobody has been there before. So
where's the bathroom? Where's that?
No, and we all took it in stride. Of course, we have a wonderful fan experience team at Intuit Dome who helps direct people, show them around. But no matter what department you were in, if you had the badge, somebody would come up, ask you a question. And just because, it's not my job, I guess, to show people around, we all made it our job to make sure people felt at home when they come to visit Intuit Dome. And I think that's what sets us apart at the end of the day from other venues.
No, that's an awesome way to approach it, and it's the right way. You're all learning a new experience. Do it as a team. So awesome, Joe. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
hearing
this was so good.
Hearing your tips, hearing what you're doing out with the Clippers is awesome. We're very proud of you. It's very exciting what you're doing.
I'm honored to be on the pod. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, you know, I'm proud. You know, I'm so proud of you. And
I had to make Jen proud for sure.
I knew you were going to do big things, and I'm so glad we got to catch up, and I miss you. And when you come back to Syracuse, make sure you come visit. And we have to get out to LA to see this Intuit Dome. We've heard some great things, so we definitely need to. But thank you again, Joe. We really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you are following us on all your social channels at Ath Career Pod and listening on all your podcast platforms and rating and reviewing and liking and sharing and all the things. And new episodes drop every Tuesday. So thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
If you like the 5 Tips and Tricks podcast, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can rate and review us, including questions that may be answered on future episodes. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast for careers in athletics is part of Athletic Career Consulting. Check us out at www.athcareer.com. Don't forget to follow and like us on your top social media platforms.